Just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. And we want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do.
Hi guys, Todd here. Right, strange one. I did a video a while back on putting a silica wick into an AGA tea, I think it was. Now, hand on heart and in all honesty, I hated doing it. I'm useless at it. Just not good at it. But there is a guy who I've referenced before. He does some excellent write-ups with photos, and they mostly posts them on UKV and AAEC forums. And he posted one up, which I'm looking at it just now, and it's a silica wick, setting up a silica wick in an AGA tea. But the way he's done it is quite clever. So it's Sunday, I've been out, I've walked TJ, and I've got about half an hour spare, so I thought I would sit down. I've not done this before, and I'm just going to follow his example, apart from one thing, which you'll find out, and see how I get on with it and see how it works. And you know, if it works, then bah, fantastic. But right, the only thing is I haven't actually asked Macafan if this is okay. I'll post this on the thread. I'll send him a PM before I post this. So if you see this and you're watching this, it's because he's okay with it. But I had nothing to do with this. This is not my idea. This is not my method. All credit goes to the tutorial that was written up by Macafan on AAEC forum. But, right, let's shift the camera. Okay, here we go. I have to excuse the camera angles and whatnot, everything that goes on here, but I'm indoors and the lighting isn't that great, and TG's running about like a maniac. But as with all the AGAs up the top here, if you're not, this is what you need when you're using it as, you know, for a silica wick. This screw here. But we're not going to use that. We're actually going to put a silica wick in this hole and a silica wick in the hole behind here. Get my hand out of the way, get the light in. So you got a hole there and a hole there. And this screw here is where you're going to put your wire underneath for your earth, and then you'll wrap it round and then you'll trap it in here. So first things first, I'll get my little Dalek out of the way. And what you can see here are the tools that you're going to need. Just get a bit of focus there. There we go. Right, there's a piece of, now Macafan used 3mm, 2mm and 1mm silica wick. Now I only have 3mm, it's all I use. So I'm kind of hoping it's going to get the same effect. I can't see why it shouldn't, but he recommended 9mm long. And he's also got 2 pieces of, you know, stainless steel mesh. Now I can see from his photo that they're 1mm in width, but he doesn't mention the length. Now what we're going to use these for is to make tails round the end of the wick. This is going to make it so much easier to feed into the holes on the AGA, which I really like. It's a great idea, because it's the one thing that always mucks me up. He didn't say how the length to make them, so I've just made them 1.5mm. Hopefully you can see there. Just roughly 1.5mm. I'm kind of hoping that that'll be enough. You don't have to oxidize them, but all you'll do is, see if I can get in here. I haven't got a lot of room to move here. I'm just popping this in here, wrapping my stainless steel mesh round. See what I'm doing there? And I'm just rolling it. Or trying to. To be perfectly honest, I think you would be better oxidizing this because it makes the mesh a bit more easy to work with. But I'm just going to roll that in the one direction, like so, until it gets nice and tight. And just bring my AGA back into the equation. I'm just going to check that. And that just feeds in there nicely. Oh, that's brilliant. What a great idea. Really like that. Good thinking. So grab the other side, and once again I'm just going to take the mesh like so. There's TJ having a little fit in the background. And just tighten that off there. There we go, there's it wrapped round. And remember, always roll it in the one direction. You'll find out one direction tightens and rolling the other way makes it loose. And you'll want to tighten that mesh up there. There you go. And just bring the AGA back again. Goes through no problem. Great. Right, let's get this into angle, into focus here for you. That's a bit better. And hopefully I should just be able to feed this down like so. Ah, oh, look at that. Outstanding. I've never been able to do that. Right, now we're into familiar territory for me, because what we're going to do is we're going to take a bit of 0.2, well I'm using 0.2 canthal, which has been flamed, you know, I've run a lighter over it, take all the tension out of it. And Macafan recommends putting a needle down here as well. So that's just a needle that I have lying about. I'm just going to pop it in there, and all that's going to do is give us some rigidity when we're wrapping the wire round. So that's all we need to worry about there. So I'll undo this screw here, and I'm just going to wrap my wire as I normally would do. Underneath this screw, and I tighten that up. That's that done. I'll give this a wiggle, and that gets that out of the way. So there you go, there's a wire, and we're ready to just start feeding this. Try to find an angle, sorry. That's all I'm doing, it's just wrapping it round. You're wondering where I've gone. I'm still here. I'm just concentrating. I hope you can see all this okay. So I've got 4 wraps round here, and now I'm just going to tuck it in between the 2 screws there. Oh, it's got caught. There we go. So it's just trapped in between here, as you would do if you were setting up a Genesis. And I'm just going to tighten it down, and that's it. Now I'm just going to check in my coils, and I'm just going to space them out a bit. That's better. remove the needle, and I should hopefully be able to snip this wire off here. Sorry, I should be able to wiggle that off. There we go. And that's me. Now all I've got to do now is I'm just going to push this down a bit, because the closer it is to, I'm just tucking it in behind that screw there. The reason I'm tucking it down, and I think this is where Macafan went as well, is that, you know, the closer it is to the liquid, the better your wicking is going to be. I think it's as simple as that. And I'm just going to check the coil again and make sure that everything's spaced out nice and tight there. I can't see because the lighting is so bad in here. There we go. Right. So there we go. That's where I'm at just now. Let's go and find something with some power in it. Hopefully you can see what I've ended up there with. There's the tank. There's a wick in there. And there's the coils. And hopefully, yeah, burning away there. I think we'll try a little bit of liquid on here. Right, I'm just going to pop the needle down this hole beside the mesh silica wick and fill this up with some tea juice raspberry ripple. Now, a couple of key points that Macafan makes in his thread is that, you know, sorry, out of shot there. I've poked the silica wick down as far as possible, and just as before, that means that, you know, the juice, if you're really giving it some serious vaping, it's not going to go dry. That seems alright, actually. I'm quite surprised. Excuse me. Right, let's change the camera. Here we go. I'm on my, you know what it's called, Vamo. The one that I'm giving away, or if you didn't realise, there's a competition going on just now. Check my last video. Put this to 3.7 volts. It's a 1.6 ohm coil on it. That's wicking away quite the thing. The only thing I would point out is, where'd that needle go? Use a really thin needle. This is quite a thick needle that I've got here. Now, the only drawback of using the thick needle was that when I'm wrapping the coil round the needle in the wick, when I pull the needle out, it's leaving, the coil was too loose on this. I had to actually screw the nut a wee bit more just to get it to tighten up in the wick a bit. If the coil's too loose, you're going to get hot spots, which you don't normally get in silica wicks, to be honest. So just make sure your needle or whatever you're using is as thin as possible. It's not, it's fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's wicking away quite the thing there. Have I got find another drip tip here? Put my wee shorty on. So there we go. Right, let's give this a bash. You can tell it's a silica straight away. It's flavour's a lot smoother. It's not as harsh. Not as I don't find it quite as intense. If you've got subtle flavours, this will work great. Oh, that's my battery going. That's my battery gone. What's the voltage in this? 3.4 volts, that's it flashing away at me now. One last tip. Not bad at all. So there you go. Thing to remember, I had, now Macafan used a piece of 2mm and a piece of 1mm. I used a piece of 3mm. Either will work, as you've seen. The length of the fiberglass, the silica wick was 9mm. The two, as he calls them, the bootlace ends, they were 1mm by 1.5mm stainless steel, and just wrapped them around the ends. Fed them in, used a needle, something thin, remember, poke down the side of the silica wick, wrap your coil around it, take it out, push everything down until it's quite close to the deck or the base, and then fill it full of juice and away you go, and that's it. That's me. My time's up. I have no time left this Sunday. Once again, a huge thank you, and all credit for this goes to Macafan. This is not my doing. I just thought I'd record me setting it up and see if it worked. If I can do it, anybody can do it, because I am the most hopeless person in the world when it comes to things like the Clockworks RTA. I mean, I had that for half an hour and I sold it because I couldn't do it. I wish I'd known about this method back then. So it's really good. So top marks. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. No, cheers. Not the coffee. Hi guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. This video will be now living at the end of all my videos, and it's just to see. It's just to say that I make no money from any of the reviews I do. I don't make a bean whatsoever. So just to let you know that all my reviews are, yes, are impartial, honest, and but most of all, they're just my opinion. Yes, they are just our opinion. Watch lots of other reviews, read the write-ups, and buy before you buy anything. As always, go along to the blog, toddsreviews.com, catch up what's been going on. But as always, happy vaping. Cheers now. Bye.